Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So, Heather, what are we popping open today?
Oh, we're just going to pop open a fun conversation today. We just got back from convention.
Yes, we did. It was amazing. And it felt like a brand new convention, at least to me, because it's been many years since we've been able to go in person. And it was awesome.
The energy of that many, I think it was like over 10,000 people that were there. The energy of that many people all being there for the same reason is you just feel it. It's just really, really cool to be in a room with that many people that are all excited about the same things.
Yes, for sure. And so pre-2020 every year, it was 30,000 people. And it was, I think it was probably good that it wasn't 30,000 people because it would have been overwhelming. But just to have 10,000 people all like-minded and excited in the space, like that's such a cool feeling. I hope everybody listening to this at some point gets to experience that feeling of being around that many people who are excited and, like-minded.
Yeah. And so for the past 2 years, you and I have gotten together to do the virtual, and they did still offer the virtual this year. So there was, I don't know how many people at home watching too. Yeah. And the information is just as good. You definitely feel like there's a lot of information to absorb and everything is really inspiring and the talks are really good to listen to. But the energy of being there, it felt so good to be back. I'm so glad we went in person this year. I had such a good time seeing people that we hadn't got to see in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And just the presence of the founders of the company, they are just these wonderful, wonderful people. And when they speak and show their emotions about, how they feel too, it's so powerful. It's so powerful to be there in their presence.
It really is. Yeah. And, the emotions part, I think, is so cool too. Having worked in corporate America for almost 20 years and been to a lot of big conferences and stuff, you never see people standing on a stage and crying as they share the impact that they're having on the world. And yet here we saw multiple founders doing that. And it's really special to be a part of that.
Yeah. And for those listening, we have not done a podcast on that yet. That is coming up, but we've done a little bit on our Why doTERRA of the co-impact sourcing and healing hands, but we haven't really dove deep into that. And we will do that at some point. But that's what Meg is talking about, of how many people they have been able to impact globally. And at convention, they bring a lot of these people here to tell their story. And so you'll hear stories from farmers or the different people that are working at the different distilling places across the globe. And their stories are just amazing of how these people in certain communities have nothing. And once doTERRA has been introduced into their community and doTERRA has helped them find ways to do more sustainable practices so that they can expand their farming skills and be able to produce more and then in turn make more. And then doTERRA's impact on their community between building hospitals or water systems and different things. These people are so grateful, and it is just beautiful to watch how many people they've been able to impact. We buy the oils. We're just excited to have the product and how much good it's been able to do for us. So little times with products that we buy, you don't get to see the other side of the people that are being affected by that. And doTERRA is such a good company for wanting to make sure that you do know the whole both sides of the bottle, the people being positively impacted by the oil once they purchase it, but the people on the other side, sourcing the oil. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it really, really is. They shared some statistics, and this is just one of them. I won't read through all the numbers because I know that can be boring, but they've said so far our impact, doTERRA's impact, so again, on the side of the bottle before it's even purchased, it has impacted over 2,638,109 lives. And so that's like the farmers, their families, everybody involved with the sourcing side of it, which is just amazing that we're able to provide that many jobs and impact that many people. And doTERRA's goal, they said, is to multiply that by 3 by 2030. So big goals, but totally doable. Totally doable. So 10 million lives impacted is the goal by 2030.
And I love hearing about the products. I really do. But when they start bringing these people on stage and these people telling their real life stories, it's hard not to feel emotional about it. And again, that energy of 10,000 people all like-minded and in the same place. Now everybody's affected by this. And you just feel that. Everybody is so excited and so happy to be a part of something so big.
Yeah, definitely. And just to see the impact. Like me as an individual, I feel like I'm not making much of an impact with doTERRA, but realizing the impact that we're truly making just by sharing the news about this and having people go watch the source to you videos and that type of thing. Like, you're having an impact if you're doing anything within this company. Even if you're just buying a bottle of lemon once a quarter, you're having an impact on the people on the other side, which is amazing, really amazing.
It is amazing. So obviously we enjoyed that part of convention. There are quite a few new products, which we will delve into in the next couple of episodes. There's a whole new product line that we will talk about next week. And then there are all of the other products that they introduced that we will talk about the week after. I got to do something this time that I had not done before. I know, Meg, you did this years ago, but I went and did a tour of their headquarters campus, which was really cool too, because you see the process of them bottling the oils and you see these giant vats of oils, and everybody that's, on the tour around me as we're walking, you see this giant vat of copaiba, and everybody's like, how do we lug that out of here? That would last us a really long time. Thousands and thousands of gallons in these, vats of oils. But when you do the tour, you can talk to all the scientists, which you can also do at convention, but this is the scientists that are like working inside the building at the time. And so, there's people asking all kinds of questions. And one of the things that I really liked was this one particular lady was very inquisitive towards the scientist. And she was very adamant on making sure that their testing process was everything that they said it was and that she expected it to be. So she just kept asking them, well, what if you find this in it? What do you do with it? Well, we get rid of it. Well, what if you find this in it? No, we get rid of it. Well, what if it's already in the bottle? We get rid of it. Like, if they find anything in the oil that is any kind of contaminant or something that is not the oil that they do not want to be there, they get rid of it. And so it will not make it to your house and have heavy metals or anything in it because they have gotten rid of it and disposed it. It didn't matter if it ended up wasting, their bottom line or whatever. They got rid of it. So it's like them really staying true to their word on every aspect of this is just really reassuring too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was really cool, but the tour was really cool. Just being able to kind of like see all of that stuff. Their campus is absolutely beautiful. They're surrounded by mountains and it's just in this little valley. They've got Prime Meridian, which is a healthcare center on site. I guess they used to have a spa on site and it closed in 2020. And we asked one of the ladies if it was going to come back again because it is open to the public. Anybody can go and have a spa experience there. She said they were hoping. So that would be really cool to partake in.
Yeah, definitely. And did you get to walk by like all of the executives' offices and all that too?
Yes, we did. And one of the founders was there. You could take pictures with him and meet him, which those offices are beautiful. And it's kind of fun when you watch a lot of the videos that they produce, they're sitting at their desk. So it's kind of fun to be able to see that space from a bigger view too. Their cafeteria is beautiful and you can, they were not serving food that day because convention was going on and they were doing tours, but you can see all of their healthy listed items that they're serving. So they are health conscious from the food that they're serving too, which was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've taken the tour. I should probably do it again because I know that campus has expanded and so much has changed. But that's a fun added perk of conventions. That's something that you can add on. I did not take the tour this year because I did a different add-on, and so different people offer like workshops and that type of thing. And so I actually went to a workshop that I paid for and had planned on going to in 2020, and it obviously got shut down. So I finally got to do it this time, and I learned a whole new process of applying oils called Symphony of the Cells. And it's funny because I had done like an hour-long course probably in 2019 and thought it was interesting. So I wanted to learn a little more. This time I got an 8-hour course and I learned all the things. I'm still processing like all the stuff I learned, but it was really awesome. So maybe at some point I could share more about that on the separate podcast as well. But that's always fun. And there's so many different classes that you could add on and different workshops that you can go to and that type of thing. This one was much bigger than any add-on workshop I've ever done before. They're not normally 8 hours long, but this one's one that you could get like continuing ed classes or credits for as well, depending on, your vocation and that type of thing. So we've talked about convention and at least being in the big arena, but another thing that I love about being there in person, and I will say doTERRA did a good job in the past, definitely in 2020, I was really impressed with how they tried to make this virtual, but it was not the same. But in person, they have basically like a whole experience that you can go through. So they've got a product showcase that has every single product that doTERRA sells, and you can smell all the oils, you can ask all the questions, you can play with the different products. But it's so much more than that. we went, I think we went in there twice and we still only got through like half of it because it's so huge. But like there's one area which was called the lab, and we got to basically do a DIY project. They were testing for something that will come in the future, so we made our own personalized argan oil hair products that I have already used and screwed up because they did not provide instructions on how to use it. So apparently, if anybody else has tried to use argan oil in their hair, I thought it was something where I washed my hair, then ran it through my hair, and then blow dried my hair, and my hair has looked greasy for the last 24 hours. Heather thankfully looked that up, and you're supposed to actually massage it into your scalp and maybe even like sleep on it and then wash it out. So now
leave it on for at least 30 minutes and then wash it out. So yeah.
But it was fun to like do a DIY project, and like they let us pick the oils that we wanted to put in it. And I have a feeling that they were kind of taking note as to what probably the most popular oil blends were. And so at some point, doTERRA is going to have some type of argan oil hair thing that will come with instructions on how to use it.
Hopefully.
But it smells amazing. Mine was bergamot, mint, and lavender. I'm pretty sure is what I put in mine. Do you remember what you put in yours, Heather?
I do. I did Japanese peppermint and cedarwood, and it smells really good too. But I have not actually used it yet. So now I know how to use it.
Yes. So yeah, that was fun. They had different people you could talk to. So like I got to talk to two of my mentors that I have had over the years. And that was really special. They also had a whole section that showed all of the new holiday products, which teaser, we're going to be doing a podcast dedicated to that as well in a few weeks. You'll be able to listen to. There was a kitchen or like a little food marketplace where you could buy food that was all essential oil infused. We didn't we looked in that area, but we didn't even experience that because we were never in there when we were hungry. What else was in there, Heather?
Well, something that we did not experience because we ran late on time that day we walked by it, they had a whole Zen experience where they had different oils that you could choose for a meditation experience. And then they had headphones, I guess, that walked you through a meditation experience. It smelled so good in that little corner, and you couldn't see it was back there because they all had it like curtained off and dark. But she was like, for anybody that's just kind of feeling overwhelmed with how many people are here, this is a great place to just escape to for 10 to 15 minutes. It sounded really cool, but we didn't get to experience that part of it. They had the whole co-impact sourcing area where you could read different stories or learn different things about that part of it. Trying to think they had a whole aroma touch section, which we did not do.
We didn't go to. Yeah, so we could have gotten aroma touch hand massages.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing I heard them talking about, but we didn't do this either. They had a virtual reality thing where you
Oh,
could
yeah.
experience a co-impact sourcing. I think it was Copaiba that I heard them talking about, where with the virtual reality, it's like you're on the boat on the river on the way to, where they get the trees or whatever. So that sounded cool. But again, I felt like we spent so much time in the two learning parts, morning and
Hmm.
afternoon of convention, trying to squeeze in a meal in between them, doing the different small things we got to do in the product showcase. There was no other time. Like I
Right.
just felt like there was no additional time to be able to do that. So we got as much as we could out of it, but there was still a lot we didn't get to experience.
Yeah, yeah, there's so much. One thing we didn't mention, they also have a marketplace. So there's a place where you can buy all kinds of awesome doTERRA swag. And yeah, I spent way too much money, but I love every single thing I got in there. So money well
So my
spent.
favorite thing that I got out of there
Hmm.
is this motion activated diffuser. It's a little tiny diffuser that you just screw a bottle of oil on, and it says specifically turn it upside down, screw the bottle, then turn it. You're not
Yeah.
dumping oil upside down into it. Um, they've had it as like a special product before, and
It's
I've never
called
been
the
able
bubble.
the bubble. Yep, I've never been able to snag it quick enough. It sells out immediately. So they had it there. It was in three different colors, and supposedly it is something that they are hoping to introduce as a permanent product. It's so fun, and the funny part
Hmm.
is that at first I'd walk by and I'd hear this little noise, and I'm like, "What is that noise?" Because it spreads out like psh, 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 three little
Yep.
squirts, and then it goes off for however long until you walk by it again. Psh, psh, psh. So I couldn't figure out what the noise was, and I was like, "Oh, it's that," because now I smell it too. So I love it. And I will probably get more, when they offer it, but it's just a fun little automatic thing to have.
Yeah, it's really cute. I got one of those too. And we put Purify in it. And Purify is pretty strong. Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna probably change it up and do something else once it goes through the Purify.
I have On Guard in there. I was kind of thinking about that because you can only do one bottle and it's just in there. The blends probably
Mhm.
work best in there, unless you have a favorite single oil. But yeah, I was wondering how I was going to do that too.
I think what I'll do next is I will find like a bottle that's halfway empty of lavender. And I was thinking about doing lavender and the new eucalyptus mixed together and
Oh,
have that
Meg just gave away
be in
one of the
there.
new products.
I did. Just a little tease.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just creating your own blend and buy it
Hmm.
in a half-used bottle. Good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So that thing's really cute. My favorite thing is a bag that I got. I do not need another bag, but it's so cool. So I was really excited about that.
And it held all of your stuff. Okay, can I please tell the story about the airport?
Yes.
Okay, it held all of your stuff getting to the airport. So the hard part about convention is you're going to be taking home stuff if you want to get the convention kit, if you want to get swag. They have different vendors set up where you can just purchase, different oil related things. So we left room in our suitcase. Meg purchased this bag, and so it luckily held a lot of the stuff for her. We stayed in a hotel suite that had multiple rooms, a little kitchen, and a little living room, which worked out and served
It's
us great.
awesome.
But so the goal was for us to prepare a few meals there instead of having to eat out every time. So we went to the store the first day that we got there and we found a couple of things and we got a bag of rice that we thought we would prepare with the meals. And then we didn't end up using it. So on the last day, Meg says, "Do you want rice?" "Nope, I've got maxed out space. You take the rice." She says, "I'll put it at the bottom of the bag."
Easy
So
peasy.
easy peasy. Meg, every single time we would walk into convention, would get flagged to have to be searched. I don't know what she's wearing in her body, but all the rest of us would be able to walk right through. Meg has to have her stuff searched. So at the airport, the assumption is Meg's going to be the one to get searched. Well, no, I get random. They want to sample my hand. So they swab my hand. Our bags are going through. And then the lady pulls Meg's bag and she says, "I need to search this. Something's showing up at the bottom." And Meg says, "Well, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to put my deodorant in the liquids bag." And she says, "That doesn't usually get flagged." And she says, "Well, it is a liquid." And the lady's like, "That's not what we're seeing. We're seeing a white powdery substance."
In the
And I
bottom of
say,
your bag.
Yeah. I say, looking back, I'm like, it's the rice. And the lady unloads the entire bag and pulls out this bag of rice and is like, okay. It's not trying to bring drugs from Utah to Texas. She is just simply carrying a bag of rice.
Just smuggling in some rice because we can't get rice in Texas. Just don't want to waste food. So random. But yeah, this is also, if we weren't in person at convention, we wouldn't have random funny stories like this.
I don't have anything else on this teaser episode, so maybe we should end on that. But I don't have anything else until we start talking about products the next 2 episodes.
Okay. But yeah, it was amazing. For sure, if you've ever been curious or tempted, join us next year. It's so much fun. So I'm already looking forward to the next convention because it's always time well spent. So yeah, it's amazing. Well, we hope that you found this informative, interesting, entertaining, all the things. And definitely make sure and subscribe to our podcast because we have these every Friday. And next week, we will be sharing the big reveal, the big new product line that came out this year. So listen in for that one.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.